Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook here with John Little, and it is Acrylic Painting Monday. We're going to be doing a window sort of at night with some roses, and I think it goes with some of the other tutorials that we've done in the past. I think you're going to love this one. Even though it looks complicated, don't let that throw you. I think I can show you a very simple way to paint it. It's an exciting evening. We're going to preview some of our new auction pieces. We've got some new Academy pictures that you're going to get really excited about for those of you who are part of our Academy group. And wow, just all kinds of great stuff. Action-packed show. That's it. That's it. Action-packed. Yes and yes. So let's get right down to it. I have a little reference photo right here. Somebody comes up and they said, where do you get your reference photos? A lot of our reference photos are photographs that then I redesign, and we don't show you. A lot of times we don't show you those. Are my personal designs. I don't show you even how I got there. But anyway, this is what we're going to be painting. So the question comes up, no, this is it. But the actual traceable will be available tomorrow in our Academy for Orange members and above, acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com. All right, so that's good to know. If you had read our Gazette today that came out, we would have showed you given you a link to the other YouTube lesson with a really wonderful stained glass window or leaded glass window and roses that would go beautifully with this. And someone had made the comment that we needed to edit that video because it was kind of trailing off at the end. John went ahead and clipped it. It is now just 2 hours. It doesn't,
It's not 5 hours.
At the time it came out, we didn't have the tools to do that. We went back and did the edit. So rest assured, that's cool. So we've got a little 9x12 canvas, yes? John, yes?
That is a 9x12.
And it's just got a peach color on it, sort of, probably burnt sienna and white. Probably, and I kept it peach because the roses are peach, and I can paint them in there with that. And I went ahead and traced on where they go, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some of the background around them. And I'll put out more colors, but we're going to start off with ultramarine blue and a color that my good friend Liz Clark, who she's here, she sent me. It's called Shadow Green from Holbein. Called Shadow Green, and it's a dark sort of dark Loden green. But if you've been watching our Adventures in Green, you know how to mix these colors. I'm just starting to use some of the paint we have, right? Why not? And
yeah, why not?
So that's why not. So that's what we're doing. So I think what I'll do first is do some of the blue, and while I'm doing that with mixing the dark blue color and so forth, John, perhaps we're not using a Stay Wet palette either because we didn't have one prepared. So guess what? We're using the old-fashioned palettes.
We're going old school.
And it takes a lot more paint to do it that way, you guys. You really want the Stay Wet. But nonetheless, I did it for years with never seeing one. I think I can still do it. So I've got some magenta and ultramarine blue.
Hopefully not gripe about it.
Okay, that's my dark, and a little bit of the phthalo green together. That's my dark color, and I want to come in here like this. Just kind of put in my windows like so. And if you've got a good line and a good angle brush, you should be able to get this easily. This should not be tricky for you. Okay, but right now this is sort of holding its place for that. And of course, down here there's a little bit of green, phthalo green and white on my brush, and that's going in here, just underneath here like that. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of raw umber with that to just tone that down. Raw umber is a transparent brown, so wipe the paint off the brush, take a little bit of the white and get yellow oxide and maybe just do something like that. So this is coming in here around here like that. Yes. And then we'll kind of go, well, we'll let that dry before we try to do anything over that. So that's all we've done. So I guess we had, let's say hi to our moderators, John.
Hi, moderators. Thanks for coming.
Who's here, John?
Well, we have Lynn in our Quebec office, and we've got Liz 1 and Liz 2. We've also got Luann, and Judy has appeared magically.
Hey, Judy. Hi, Luann.
I think that's everybody.
How you guys?
Who do you think we're missing? Anybody?
Oh, there.
Oh, we're missing our Swedish office.
Well, yes, but it's very late for Mona to stay up, okay? This is very late. And then you're getting a little bit of magenta and ultramarine blue coming up in here because I want some dark colors.
Is Ginger using phthalo green or the shadow green?
I'm not using both.
Well, which one did
The
you?
shadow green is the darkest green. Phthalo green is this.
Is
You
a
will
brighter
never
green.
get that color with shadow green is a Loden color.
Ooh.
It's an olive Loden color. We
and Steffi.
haven't
Steffi,
used that yet.
I did not mention Steffi wasn't in my list.
Hi, Steffi.
No, wait a minute. She wasn't in the list. Is she in the list now? No, she's not.
Well, maybe she's not feeling well.
Maybe she's not here. I don't see Steffi.
Okay. All right.
Well, hello, Steffi, if you are there in silent mode.
All right, so I'm going to turn this like this as we're talking. A lot of times when you're doing something like this, you can kind of cut in to the flowers. This is just our first layer. And I'm just kind of going around the flowers like this because I know that's all dark up here. It's our dark blue color. Let's take a little bit of the phthalo green now. Come on up here with a little white while this is still light. Just play a little bit with that. Now turn it around. See what I did?
No.
Okay, like that. Turn a little bit of light up in there, and I'll add some more. Now I just got white on my brush. I want to come up here under this arch window. A little bit of ultramarine blue up here. That's a little bit too light. Just come up here like that. And then we're going back to the dark color up here. Put a little magenta in it. That will darken it up substantially. Okay. So, and I want this a little bit darker, so I'll take some of the Loden green and the magenta and kind of darken that up. So, all right, and then we've got, I'll just wipe the brush off, not rinse it, and then take a little bit of white and yellow oxide down here in this corner. See, this is very Van Gogh-y, isn't it, when you kind of put all these colors together?
Very Van Gogh-y. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what that is. And then we have a little table here that's like this, which we have to paint in. And I'm a big fan of not getting the brush wet. So I've just wiped it off, and I'm going to say there's our table, like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of the magenta and yellow oxide, mix that together, and then wipe that off the brush. See what I'm doing? Then I'm just going to get some white paint, and that will be the color I want for this top of the windowsill. How clever is that, see? So you can mix right on the canvas. You know, you can certainly do that. And I don't want to get too far up into this area here because I don't want to get into the dark wet blue. Okay, so we'll go back into here and say that this is, let's just put a shadow color under here on the wall like this. Let's just come back like this around our vase and do this like that. There we go. And brush direction is everything, okay? So if you notice the shirt I'm wearing tonight
I didn't
is
really.
one of our new T-shirts that we introduced this fall, and I've got the painting dog on it, and it's just
It's Pat.
It's Pat, our painting dog, and it says creativity is intelligence having fun, and I really like that saying, and so that's what's on the T-shirt, in case somebody wants to know. Yes, a little bit of light right there like that. There we go. So I'm just, as this starts to dry a little bit, I can pull some of these darker colors, because this is quite thick up here, like that, and pull some of these darker colors in there. So you see how we're sort of going around the flowers? Now, this is the Loden green. All right, you ready? This is the Loden green. And so that's going, well, we know we've got it going in our vase like this. we've got some of this Loden color coming in here like that. I think I'll just paint that dark like that, and then I can lighten up the colors in the vase. Okay, so there's our vase like that. It's really just sort of there, but you don't talk about it that much, right? And there's the top of the table. And then here's the bottom of the ledge here like that. You got to take advantage of your of the colors that you already have on the brush. Yes and yes?
Absolutely.
As you're putting stuff in.
Especially when you're just blocking around.
Yeah, we're just sort of blocking in. We know we have a dark window there, but we have a little bit lighter one up in here. This is a combination, the dark blue of phthalo blue and ultramarine blue, and a little bit of green. There you go. And we know we've got something dark right up in here. And second coat on this. So as I paint this in, what I do is I just go around and say, what else could I use for a color? And like, here's a little bit of the phthalo green again up here, which I can mix in up here and just suggest something. It's very impressionistic painting, so you don't want to get too tight with it. All right, you want to be careful not to do that, and not to get too tight with your pictures. So we've got let's see what else we've got here. So we got a little bit of this Loden green kind of coming up around this like this, and there's some flowers up in here. That's green. Kind of taking this dark green. A dark green could be made using ultramarine blue, burnt umber, and yellow would make a dark green. Yes. So if you didn't have a Loden green, that's what you could use. People always want to know, well, what else could I use if I didn't have that? So many different ways to make colors. You know, for instance, I love a very nice olive green, but you can make one of those just by using black and yellow makes a pretty good olive green. So when you're thinking about your painting, give yourself some you see how dark this green is? It's just, it just saves me a little time, and I can put a little bit of ultramarine blue in it if I want to get it even darker. But that's pretty dark up here, so I'm just going around where my flowers are. Yes and yes. As long as I'm doing this, right? So when you you can even, for those of you who just want to barely trace this in, because this is pretty easy stuff here, just kind of make circles where you know you're going to have flowers. And allow for this to, a little bit of this color up here like that. And let's see, we're coming down into this window like so. And there you go, like that. That, my dear friends, is the picture almost totally blocked in. Oh, yes and yes.
Look at that, it's almost done.
Yeah.
Now, would you call that the ugly stage?
Well, I don't know if this is the ugly stage or not, John.
I don't think you're far enough into it yet.
I don't think we're far enough in it to start naming names, but I could take a little of this yellow like that and see if I like that color. I think I'd rather take some phthalo green and yellow oxide and white and come up here like this and suggest that there were some leaves in this vase like that. That's kind of cool. And then I didn't put out any real light yellow, but we can do that. And what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of white and this light yellow and that green I just made, and just, there you go. See what I just did?
You added a little punch to it.
Yeah. Yeah, just in the vase here. I don't have to do much. And we could do more of that up here too, but I don't want to get too far ahead. But, you know, that's some of the kind of stuff you can do. Just always look around and say, where else can I use that color? That's probably one of my favorite things to do is, where else can we do that color? Now, normally, I would take a minute and I would dry everything. This is that shadow green. Just kind of a lazy color. You know, if you just don't feel like mixing a dark green, it's a good one, right? Nothing wrong with a lazy color now and again. You don't, you know, for instance, we use microwaves, and it isn't cheating, and it isn't cheating to maybe buy a tube of paint because you just like the color. It's got to be okay, right?
Especially if you can use a lot of it.
Yeah, if you're going to pretty a big painting and you need a certain color, it's sort of nice. And, you know, the economy really is in your stay wet palette. You should keep using the paint again. This little palette's going to dry up pretty quick. And I don't think I even have a sprayer out here, do I, John?
You do. It's over there to your right on the table with the bucket.
Oh, yeah, behind the bucket. Yeah, so for something like this, I just might do a mist, like this little mister on the palette, just keep that, because about this time that paint's going to start drying up. So that's when you mist. So let's take a second, talk to you. I'll just move this out of the way. I mean, that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. This is my tub of towels. I just tell you guys about these. I haven't done anything about them for years, but we still use the ones they sent us. They're not, we don't sponsor us or anything, but I have to say, if you need to get paint off your hands, this is the stuff to do it. And one lady that is one of our Academy members, she on her Chanel bumpy white cotton bedspread, she got a tube of red paint. She sat on it, opened first, and got red paint on it. And she said she was able to get that off of there using these tub of towels. And I don't think I'd have the patience, but they will certainly get it off your hands. And I want to touch a T-shirt or two, and I don't want to get paint on my new T-shirts. Because I got to tell you, John and I are just all hot on this T-shirt stuff. And we've got just the neatest gift store. And because, we've got so many beautiful designs and paintings that we've done. And we're always trying to think of new things that would be, what else could you do with the designs? And one of the things that we're doing is that we've done playing cards. Check these out, you guys. Look at that. That is a YouTube tutorial called Jeannie in honor of my sister who passed some years ago, and she had alopecia. So she spent most of her adult life wearing wigs because she lost a lot of her hair, all of it. She was completely
Flip
bald.
it over so you can see the face cards.
Yeah, like this?
No, flip them over so we can see that they're actual cards. There you go.
Oh, yeah. See, face cards, yes? Yes and yes. And then we have this purse. And I want you to see how good the colors are on our purse. Look at that.
Kind of match everything.
Look at how beautiful those colors are. These purses, I took a bunch to Australia for about 6 weeks. I wore them. You use them every day. What I like about them is that you can, put a driver's license, a couple of credit cards, or just business cards, whatever, in there. This snaps closed, right? And then when you open it up here, you've got 3 spots and even a zippered place if you're carrying money. People still do that. And, glasses. It's my cell phone fits perfectly in there when it's closed. And it comes with a long strap that's inside that's adjustable. But, again, these are in our little store. And I wanted to mention that we got a word from our manufacturer that makes these. They said that as of March 1st, the price will our price to get them will go up $5. So if you're thinking about getting a purse, the shipping is really reasonable. It got all the way to Israel very, very inexpensively. I think it was $4 or $5. I think the shipping is really reasonable. And these are my absolute all-time favorite. We've got Ocean one, and we've got a bunch of different ones, but I didn't want to make this too much about that, but I'm trying to let paint dry so you guys can see how cool that is, right? And if you haven't painted Jeannie, I mean, look her up on YouTube. This is a fun painting to do because I think we've had a lot of people do that original painting of mine. So there's these little cards, and they're pretty, aren't they? These are kind of neat. Well, when John and I travel, we've discovered that we like playing cards, and so we thought,
what better way to?
Just we'll put our stuff on there. We have 3 different decks of cards. We only purchased 2 of the 3 that we have available, but this is the other set. That's the playing cards for the whiskey cards and poker chips. So we think these are really nice cards. Not just because we made them, we really think they're nice, right? Hope you think they're nice. So I think that's kind of cool, right? I'm just going to put this in like this, John, up here, and you can put them away.
No.
Yes, I'm doing that right now, just in a drawer where you can just, after the show, we'll put them away. Don't panic. I'll put them in 2 separate drawers. Listen, he's dying over here. All right, so I'm putting those away. Yes and yes. So that's way cool, and as long as I have... We got so carried away with this. John, during the next break, I want to show you some of the ducks we've collected on our trip. We've collected these little, when you're when you're on a cruise ship, they've got these people, passengers, who've taken upon themselves to buy these cute little ducks and hide them with little sayings, and they're all dressed up in little outfits and stuff. And apparently when you find one of these in a casino, it's supposed to be lucky. They're lucky ducks. And so John and I designed an all original. This is our, let me just move this out over there so I get paint on it. This is our lucky duck casino t-shirt, which we have 3 different sayings. And I mean, come on, that's so cool, right?
Now what was that one saying?
That one says, well, this one says, lucky duck, luck is on my side.
There you go.
And then this one said, and they come in different colors too, so just not these. And then I just happen to wear dark colors because I don't last very long in a white shirt, light colored shirt. I have food or something.
You don't get out of the room.
Yeah, and this is called Lucky Duck, luck is on my side. I guess I got 2 of those. Did I get the same 2?
Apparently you did.
I got the 2. So there's a couple of others. So sayings that we put on this, right? One was, lucky duck, I got this cruise for free. Not to brag, but I got this cruise for free. That's one of them, which we think is way cool. So anyway.
I love how you painted that background.
Yeah, isn't this pretty? And this will not be a tutorial in the Academy.
Nope.
None of our slot machine paintings or like will ever be tutorials. But you might have fun, being a lucky duck.
You never know.
We don't know, but we just thought at least we'd tell you about them. So I think we've probably given this enough time to dry. Where'd I put it? Over here. Okay, so we
have had a question. How do you mix the olive green?
Well, olive green is ultramarine blue and yellow and reds, or you can do black and yellow. Those are all ways to mix olive greens. But you can't get an olive green very easily with phthalo blue because you have to put so much red in it. Also, burnt umber is another one to add to olive greens. So those are things to keep in mind. I was thrilled with how many of you guys painted last week's mason jar. And we probably had 12 or 15 posted in our club, Acrylic Painting with Ginger Cook on our Facebook club. If you're watching this and you haven't joined the club, it's free. Please join the club. We'd love to see your paintings. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, you can show us whatever you've done in acrylics. We're happy to see it. There's a few guidelines, but mostly it's fine. And then all 7 days of the week, you can always post either an old painting done before 1800, one of the old DGs or old dead guys, or one of my tutorials. And it's fun to see the different ways people paint things. It's great. Isn't it, John?
It is indeed.
Yeah, and our moderators over here, most of them are over in our Facebook during the day, and they keep that place running. So we want to give a shout out to Judy and Liz too, and Liz 1 and Steffi and Luann and stuff, because you guys you make, and Mona, you guys make the club and work, because people, we appreciate the time and hours that those guys spend on our club. And I mention this because we feel it's important for you to know the faces behind the comments. so we don't keep you, our moderators, anonymous. I know some people like to do that, and that's not either right or wrong. But our personal feeling is that you know, I want you to know that we appreciate you and happy to give you a little shout out. So there. Now, surely this is dry. So one of the things you could do with
I haven't seen Shirley tonight, but I'll let her know that it's dry when she gets here.
Would you? What I want to do is I'm just going to take some artist tape now, and I'm just going to come up here like this, to pull it tight, and then just line up where you think it's going to go. And let's just do something like that. I want this to be a pretty good straight line here. So let's just line this up like that. And just use your use a palette knife to just burnish these down. You know, did I get this right? No, I didn't. Well, it should be right about like that. Okay, it should be right on the edge there. All right, so then what I want to do is just take a brush, and I want sort of a light color. So I'm just going to go sort of white and yellow and peach and white, and just it's got a little bit of yellow to it. And I'm just going to come down here like that. This is my first coat of that. Little yellow oxide. It's a little darker up on top. Here we go.
Are people who paint in gouache allowed? Absolutely.
Sure. Sure.
We'll even let oil painters watch.
It's an old.
We've had some try to do our lesson. A little tough.
Yeah. So so there's the so now I want to do with this is I want to just a little bit of raw umber and white in this color. And now that this is sort of dry, I'm just going to drag this flat. Oops. Barely touching this. Just touch it like that. There you go. Not saying to say too much about the windowsill, but that's our windowsill, and then you just pull off the tape, and there you go, you guys. So there's our windowsill, and then the outside edge, I think we're just gonna do sort of a dark brown here. Well, there you go. Just I can be careful. You don't want too many tape lines, but tape does allow you to be a little freer with your colors. Okay. All right, so that's the edge of our painting, and then let's do a little bit of let's put the arch of the window. And as long as we're happily doing this, do you like that happily stuff? Because I think we're happy on doing this, right?
Well,
sort of white and raw umber.
We got to be happy. Hey, we'd like to thank Julie for the donation that came in through PayPal. Thank you, Miss Julie.
Julie, thank you so much. We so appreciate it. That is awesome. And guess what? I have a surprise for you guys. Remember?
Oh, I love surprises.
Last week, I said we had 5 for anybody in a court of like the 3-month period that does something like Julian donates to us in our academy. For every $25, you get a ticket to for a drawing for one original painting. And last week I said there were 5, and I guess John could only. Apparently I don't count well. So we have another painting to show you. And then there was one that was the garden steps, the original garden steps that I released on my birthday about 5 years ago. I was looking at that today, and I just got a wild hair and decided to update that painting. And so you're getting a total original. No one's ever seen it. I'll show it to you tonight if one of you is lucky enough to win that, because that's really cool, isn't it, John?
That's very cool. Yeah, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, well, I just was looking at it, and my name's on it, and I just wanted it a little bit different, right? How's that?
Anna Maria, thank you very much for your donation.
Yeah, and I want to say, Maria, if you would just send me some stuff in for personal art coaching, you can just say sharing, because some of she did these beautiful this painting of the three combined three of our food pictures all together in one. I'd like to be able to post that up on Pinterest, and the way I could do that is if you send those to me. I want to brag on you too, because I so appreciate what you do. I'm so glad we have a Facebook club, because otherwise I would never know what you guys were painting. Okay.
That's true.
I just wouldn't know.
You'd be left in the dark, as it were.
Yeah, it's true. I just wouldn't know what you're painting at all. I would be clueless, right? So let's see. I've got, now you see how we're coming along? Now, I don't want you to just relax when you're doing this, because you can see this is coming along pretty easily, yes and yes? So then I want some zinc white out. We didn't do that, but we should have. Let's type in where did the zinc white go? Yeah, okay. Zinc white is a transparent white. So if you're trying to lighten something but not totally, you can use zinc white. And let's do a little bit of like right in here. Whoops, look at that paint on the brush there. So now we're playing with the windows a little bit. I can do that with the zinc white. It'll lighten something up here. Just gives it a little bit of something around these windows.
Tara says, "You know what I'm painting. You get everything I do."
Tara sends me everything, and it's up on. So people think we got like 6 people that are painting our stuff, and it's just not true. You all are painting. It's just, if you're an Academy member, even if you don't want personal art coaching, though, if you're a red or you have to be a red or purple member or blue to send it in. But you can always just say, just sharing, please share on Pinterest, and I'll be happy to do that for you. So I'm always happy to brag on you guys. All right, so happy to do that.
Hey, we'd like to thank Cheryl for her donation that came in through the PayPal system.
Oh, thank you very much, Cheryl. Yes and yes. Now we're going to go back to white, because I don't want that blue. Let's come right up to the vase here like this. Now, see, this is when we start barely touching it and layering in a little stuff, right? So we kind of scribble the background up, okay? So, you're going, well, this went pretty quick, didn't it? And you're surprised, aren't you? Really?
I'm very surprised.
And then we can come down a little closer here to our windows. Just get a little closer to those if we... these were never meant to be perfect, so they're there, but that's it. But I did see where I'm missing one here. See how you just start layering and adding a little bit more light here and there? Again, not trying to be perfect. Just saying that there's the window. Let's put something light on the window ledge here. Okay, so now...
I've got to admit, sweetie, this is really...
Who's a mystery?
This is a mystery piece.
Oh, you think so?
So far, I'm not getting it.
This one, really? Really? Are you serious? You're not getting it? Who said that? Did you say that?
I just said, hello, who's talking?
I don't know. Surely you wouldn't criticize my painting, would you?
Oh, no, that's not what I said. I just said I'm not understanding it yet.
Oh, well, that feels like criticism to me, but could be just me. But
oh, no, my goodness.
You're sure?
I am positive.
I want a peach color. I'm going to put a little orange out. This is just orange, but you could and then it's going to be 99% white and umber, and then this color like that, and then and let's put a little yellow in that. There we go. There's our peach.
Now,
right?
when you said yellow, was that oxide?
No, that was cad yellow medium, and then
really?
More white. This right there, yeah. And all right, so I think we're going to have to, let's see, a little bit of magenta with that too. Let's just, oh yeah, there we go. More white. So these are pretty light. All right, so here's let's just put some flowers in.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Arizona says, I just found out that 2 of my paintings were chosen for display at my city public art place.
Oh my gosh,
Thanks,
that's
Ginger
great.
and John.
Oh my gosh, good for you.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool. That's an interesting combination, orange and alizarin crimson.
That's a pretty color. Hey, we'd like to thank Tammy for her donation that came in through PayPal. You guys are getting close to being in the running for lots of the little paintings will be offered that we'll be showing shortly. And we have to do a little drying again.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little drying. Well, it's just when we're letting this dry a little bit.
Well, yeah, you got to get those.
You know, I had to just.
You got to get all those guys plopped in there.
I got it. I kind of was forgetting where they all went, so I had to do something here. We got one here. Got a nice big one right here. A little bit more of the yellow-orange color on this one. A little more of that peach.
And another thank you goes out to Sharon for her donation.
Oh, thank you so much. We so appreciate it. And I'm going to do a little white one right here because I'm not sure about this one, but here's a white one, and then we got this one here, got this one here, and then we got more of a white one right here. Got into the blue color, but then wipe the brush off a little bit. So here's this one. See, if I go in here and say, okay, so all right, so here we go. We got a little one right. Oh, we got a neat one right here. As opposed to they're all wonderful, right? There's not one less flower that's not as neat as another, but you know. There we go. There's a little something right here. It's very, you know, there's a real abstract feel to this painting, don't you think? You're going,
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if it's abstract versus impressionism. It's a very strong impressionistic.
yeah, it's very strong impressionistic, but you can kind of see
Well,
where.
speaking of abstract, we got one coming up for you.
Oh, wait, you said we're going to do a Picasso next week on
we got a Picasso
YouTube.
scheduled, and
Yeah.
we got a rose.
And even though he's under copyright, we went ahead and designed a painting we think he might have painted. How's that?
Yep.
So it's not one of his, but it's kind of like what if he did it?
If he thought of it, he would have done it.
That was
And
our
we just
thought.
thought of it first.
Yeah, right.
Because we're better.
So I don't know if we're better, but we're players.
We're players. That's it.
We're players, right? We're not necessarily better, but we're players. Okay. So those are our flowers, and as long as I'm going to rinse the brush, and I'm going to just play with the white because this green has got some few white things here, and then.
Oh goodness!
There,
I guess I should really get to
just
that
doing that with the vase, right? And here's our okay. So does it make sense to you now? But more so? All right, let's let that sit for a minute, yeah?
Well, let me do a quick thank you to Wanda before you go. So thank you, Wanda, for your donation.
Thank you, Wanda, and I hope you enjoyed the playing cards.
Yeah.
I know she ordered a couple, and oh, I meant to show it, and we haven't yet. I meant to show it.
What?
Wanda's granddaughter got one of our small puzzles, and she just loved it. We've got a photograph of everything. We wanted to share that with everybody.
Where is that photo? Can I get to
I
it
sent
anymore?
it to you.
Oh, that's it. No,
The mysteries cloud
no.
of things that I send to John. You know what I mean? I've gotten, yes, it's in the mystery cloud of what did John get, right? So I'm going to move that out of the way. And all right, so we talked about for those of you that have been donating this quarter, I told you that I changed the garden step painting. I changed it a lot. So wait till you see it. There it is.
Oh, that didn't look the same. It's got a frame around it.
Well, the frame doesn't come with it, but I want you still 8 by 10. But you can see that's one of the ones that you got a $25 donation up for this quarter. You have a chance to win this, which we think is kind of, well, I think it was when it came out. And then we've got, there's this one. And remember, this was a YouTube show. That was,
Oh, I remember that one.
That was one of the old DGs, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. And this was the painting. We just didn't, we forgot what the fifth one was, or didn't have a fifth one. So here's the fifth one right there. This garden basketball. That was a YouTube one.
For those who have trouble counting to 5.
Yeah, don't start with me, you. And then if I turn this up this way, like so,
It'll be sideways.
we have the abstract. So
That's kind of a Picasso is.
and then the first person that the first name we draw will have choice of all 5, and it'll go down to, then it'll be 4. Then it'll be, we're drawing how many people, John?
We'll have 3 people.
3 people, so you'll have everybody will have a choice. So that was the original study I did before I did the giant Taz. Okay, I like to do small things sometimes before I do something big, so I can decide how I'm going to do it. So those are the paintings that we will be drawing for. And when will that be, John?
In March 13th, during the 13th show.
We'll do the drawing for those. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All donations go through the 28th of February, unless we're leap year this year, which I don't believe we are. Nope.
But then we'll be able to do a live show. We want to do it on a live show.
Yeah, we do it on a live show.
So it'll be
live show on the 13th. We'll be drawing for the scholarship giveaway people.
Yeah. So there you go. We've got that.
Now, I did find the email that tells me that she spent 2.5 hours divided over 3 sessions, but the picture's not there.
What one?
The granddaughter. Her grandmother played tricks on the colors, but was not full with Charlotte.
I didn't include the picture.
Nope. They gave me the same though.
Well, go back to ticket system. She included it there in our tickets. All right. So, do you think this has a chance to dry a little bit? Okay. Now we're ready for the green. I know.
We had green on there.
Yeah, but now we're doing the green step number 2. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Because basically, what we're saying happened here. Yes. What we're saying happened, right, is we're saying that right in here, right
That's
in
not
here.
Green. I'm really so confused.
I'm putting the basket. We have a basket here for these plants. They're in a basket. They're not just by osmosis hanging there, okay? And I want to do a cat's tongue, I think, on the brushes. I think for the leaves, I want to do one of these kind of brushes, not the angle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and cut in further with the dark blue, okay, and the dark green. Now that we know exactly where our flowers are. So that's the coming in here like that. And put a few little shadows and see how we're doing that? So then I'll take some yellow and well, this is still wet. Maybe a little phthalo green and yellow. Well, this is still wet. And maybe a little bit darker up in here like that. This is coming this way. All under here like this. A little yellow oxide. You got to be kind of loose and fast with this. Ooh. But I'm not saying anybody should be loose, but you should be painting a little looser, right? Maybe get a little bit lighter coming up close to these.
Now, some of you have asked who Berthe Morisot is? Morisot? What is it?
Morisot.
She's a French impressionist in 1841 to 1895, and she hung around with the big guys. She was one of the three great ladies of Impressionism, along Mary Cassatt and Marie. I couldn't begin to say it. I don't think we've done any of hers yet.
I think one. We've done a couple in the Academy.
Bracumon.
Yeah, the thing of it is that the women got no respect. I mean, just,
But she did. This one got a lot of respect. She was in the Paris Salon show for 5 times.
Yeah, but they were allowed to do children and stuff that people did. They didn't get. They
didn't get the true. Yeah, I agree with you.
They were sort of, they were patted on the head and said, "Nice job, darling."
Good doggy.
Yes, right.
So we like to introduce some of the older people to you that have come before us because they know what they're doing. At least some of them.
Yeah.
Some of the pieces, I just question.
Well, here's the thing: not everything I've done is genius, but when I cross over, and fast forward 100 years, and all these paintings comes up, they'll say, "Well, how did she get such brilliant pieces? And where did that piece of junk come from?" And anything you sign suddenly becomes, it becomes the signature. But not every piece everybody did was brilliant. And you can't be like the Emperor's New Clothes and decide, the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, where everybody's afraid to say that it's terrible. And again, we get down to this thing about, is there such a thing as a bad painting? And yes, and I've made a few, and I'll,
I find that so hard to believe, my queen.
Well, I have, and everybody's made a few, and you just got to own up to it. Sometimes it's not, there's the one thing where it's not your cup of tea.
That's true.
And that's just, for instance, some people say I don't get abstracts. Well, a good abstract follows all the rules of design that a regular painting does. Now, Bob Ross always used to talk about happy accidents. Yes.
This is another shirt coming up.
and I'm saying at some point you've got to get past the happy accidents, right?
And learn to paint.
Yes.
Get down to it, people. So our Quebec office is correcting us on the last name. How did you say it?
Well, she's French, so she would know.
Well,
right?
Yeah, she knows. O-T is pronounced low. More slow? More slow?
We don't know. What does that mean? You've confused us now.
Well, the spelling of her last name is O-T. Are you paying attention to this conversation at all?
I am, but I mean, it's
Morisot.
Berthe Morisot, then.
Morisot, yeah.
So, Berthe Morisot.
So you've all had your French lesson for the day. Thank you very much.
So what, right? What the sad thing is about that? Is having gone to boarding school in Switzerland and learned French, 50 years ago or 70 or whatever long this is now.
It was last week. Oh, goodness.
When I think about that, which is pretty kind of funny, right?
It is.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, it is funny, John. I don't like this purple up there. Let's make that green.
And you can do that.
Let's do something a little lighter. I can lighten this up here. I have to wait till that dries. Can't do much more of that. But you see how we're pulling in these flowers, yes and yes?
You bring them to life.
And
now, for those of you that did not get our cassette, we do have a coming up in August, a retreat with the Art Sherpa and Ginger Cook live and in person.
Oh yeah, and you guys, I got to tell you, this is going to be
the cat's meow.
Yeah, cat's meow. And what's happened is that if any of you traveled recently, hotels that were costing $200 a night are now $400 or $500, and everything's gone up. Twilight Zone and Cinnamon did not raise the prices this year for the retreat. They're the same as you guys paid last year, and the hotel is, she negotiated these prices, and the hotel is sort of stuck with what
They got caught with the pants down, as it were.
Yeah, this food comes. This retreat comes with all your meals. Yes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we all eat with you, and it's lessons with either me or Cinnamon in the morning, and then we switch groups, and we just step-by-step tutorials. It's individual work. Some of you, can, we haven't really announced this, but I'll announce it now. Some of you can bring pictures of your work with you if you've done any of my artwork, and I will give you in-person critiques or just even the photograph.
A personal
Yeah, personal
art
stuff.
coach.
This is an immersive experience, and it's basically there's only a limited number of tickets because there's just Cinnamon and I, but they're singing and dancing and carrying on and
There's
good
no
times.
we're always
Cinnamon gives
serious.
away original paintings. Someone will win the original paintings that I do while we're there. You're going to learn some great stuff. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see you there, and I hope you come.
And that's in August.
Yeah, that's in August. So you got to go to theartsherpa.com and then to figure out.
Yeah, theartsherpa.com. You can find it under the events, coming events.
Under coming events, yes.
So
that's what you want to do there. Now that has to dry for a second, right?
It does.
So that has to dry, and I want to show you. This is a show and tell. Come on, you guys. We've got an auction coming up, and it's going to run about 10 days, and it's this time of year. And I want to show you some of the pieces we're going to be putting in our auction. This is a painting I did of Bruges. That's in Belgium. And it's from a little boat trip John and I took on their canals, Bruges. We just really like that. Some of you may remember this large painting we did with a sponge on YouTube with the flowers. That's one of our auction pieces coming up. I've got to tell you that I was kind of sad to part with our wolf, but if you've got a wolf fan in your family, this is our Max the Wolf, one of our tutorials in the Academy, and which we think is kind of cool. And then we've got this. This is a beautiful. This tomato in a paper bag. That's a really good lesson, and also it's an Academy lesson, but. This is a neat one to hang in the kitchen. I think that's a really charming kitchen piece. And anyway, we've got that. And then for those of you who just can't live without dessert, we've got the strawberries and shortcake that they serve on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. That's their dessert. But again, this is a tutorial showing you how to do the glaze and everything. But it might be fun to own the original, and you can see it's nice size. Yes. So that's a few of those. Now there's going to be a lot more than that. Now here's the other thing that we're doing. You're going to laugh, but I had this brilliant idea. Don't you think so? If I had an idea, it's probably
we're
brilliant.
going to see how brilliant it is.
So we're going to have some paintings that we're not going to tell you what they are. We'll put a starting bid on them. They're going to be some good ones. I went ahead and found some really good ones, so I don't want you to think that just because we didn't tell you what they are.
We just wanted to try something fun.
We just wanted to say something with and create the mystery, right? So some of you may remember Frank's Falls.
Oh, I do.
And that's what's so cool about that is how we did the rocks on that. That was a wave in water.
That's one that Becky should buy.
But we won't tell you what they are. There'll be these just mystery pieces. It might be that one. It might be a different one. They're all 8x10. Some of you
this is our mystery 8x10 grab bag.
You might, yeah. Old EG. This is a cool one. We never did it. This was based off one of the old EGs I never did the tutorial for. This Wolf and Knight. We've got these Van Gogh shoes. This is just a few of these. We have 10 of these kind of mystery pieces, and I don't want to take all the fun out of it by showing you all. After the auction, we'll let everybody know what they were on. We'll just do that on a live show, show you all what they were. So we'll have like we'll have stuff.
We'll have stuff. We'll have what?
Stuff.
Stuff.
We'll have stuff. It's
Of course we'll have
it's fun.
stuff.
We'd probably do 200 paintings a year, and I loved it. I'll tell you why I love my auctions is because you guys that join our auctions and participate, you like the artwork, you know the artist, which is me, and they're going to lovely homes, and that just makes me so happy. I had an agent for years that sold my artwork, and she'd say, well, I just got $5,000 for this, or I got $10,000 for this painting. Aren't you excited? And I'm like, yeah, but who bought it? What was it? Did they like? You know what I mean? It was very unsatisfying. The check was nice, but it was much more satisfying to just one-on-one, skip the art galleries, skip
Give me the bottom line.
We give you're just getting right down in the wholesale prices on this, way below wholesale on these, and we're happy to do it. I just had a birthday this year. I don't want to tell you how old I am, but a lot of people know.
It's 37.
And you don't know how many more birthdays. So, own a piece of the legacy. Here's some new Academy pictures coming up, and then we're going to finish our stuff. Back way out, please.
Way out machine.
This is a 20 by 20. We're really going all out this year in the Academy. This is a red and blue member, so we'll have this one, and purple, this river and this little glen here, and there'll be a companion piece to go with us at some other point too. We've got that one.
Yep.
I'd love to show you some of the fun stuff that we're doing because you're just going to laugh when you see it. I mean, this won't be for a while, but who doesn't like Watson?
Oh, he's my buddy.
Come on, you guys. How fun, right? And of course, it says Watson. I love the Scottish detective dog. I think he's really fun. And then I had to mention this. I finished this yesterday, probably be in the summer when this gets released, but I was kind of excited. I wanted to show it to you. Here's our, The Nun's Flower Garden is the title for this. And it's not an old EG, it's a ginger, but it's painted in the style of the old EG. So if you do enough to old EGs, you start to learn how to paint in that style, which we all have learned. And this is for our purple members who are doing, learning to do people and portraits and putting people in paintings. Well, that's one that's coming up. So I'm very curious about this for you guys. I was a little reluctant at first. I thought, I don't know.
We were hesitant on doing it.
I was hesitant on doing this one, though my personal thing was I was excited to paint it. It was really fun to paint. I don't know if anybody else will think so, but I really like this one.
You can learn a lot. Even if you don't want to paint it, you should watch the tutorial because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Same with Watson. If you don't want to paint him, I don't know who would not want to paint Watson, but there's a lot of techniques in those two lessons that...
Yeah. And then we've got...
we're stepping up the game.
I'm thinking about Mary, my friends who was doing pansies. This is going to be a new Academy pansy painting coming up too. Just a 2-cookie lesson, something that'll be coming up soon. To go with all the other pansy paintings. We've probably about 8 pansy paintings now, but who doesn't love pansies? Obviously, I do. Just different ways to paint. This is all done with a palette knife and stuff. Kind of cool. And glazing is a cool lesson that's coming up. And of course, we're doing, this week we're releasing our monkey for the red and purple members.
Jax.
That's Jax. Okay?
Most of the tutorials you just saw are 3, 4, and box of cookie tutorials.
Yeah. But we have some 1 cookie too. So anyway, that's our, now we're going to come along here with a small brush and just sort of, let's just do a dagger, I think. And let's just finish up our flowers. What do you guys think?
Have we done everything we're supposed to do, boss?
Let's see. We said hi to our moderators. We talked about Cinnamon's at my fabulous workshop. I'm so excited. Just so often we don't get to spend quality time with you and visiting and just hanging out. It's neat. And Cinnamon is at her funniest. Last year when we were doing the workshop, I was teaching, and she brought her whole group into my room talking about singing that song they sing at football games and going, we are the artists, paraded through our room and then left, and then we had to come up with something and then prayed through her room because I'm telling you, we're not sitting down for that, right? And then it was fun. And the food was delicious. I mean, this is a first-class hotel. It's at a golf resort, and it's one of the oldest golf resorts in the United States. and absolutely first class combinations, wonderful food. Cinnamon gets to pick out the menu, and one of the fun things for us with picking out the menu is ahead of time is that she gets all excited about the desserts and stuff. Oh, look at, they've got this dessert this time. Let's get that. So anyway, all right. So moving on.
It's the little things in life.
All right. So we're going to go in with some white paint and a little. This is a little dagger brush, and we're going to start doing some. The secret with roses is they're angular. They're not really. You think about that they're round, but they're angular. They're toward the center, they're round, and then they start getting, there's almost like triangular designs on the outside leaves. That's huge to me to share that with you, because it took me a while to figure that out too.
You're blocking my side view there, Queen.
Okay, so then that's the secret. We'll come up here like these. Think about triangular leaves. It's kind of round toward the center, you know, like parentheses. And then when you get to the outside petals, they're more, like I say, they're more angular.
So that's really a good brush for this.
Oh, it is. That's just perfect. You can get a glob on the paint, too. I want you to just put some jazz music on or something and have fun with these.
Hey, we'd like to thank Barbara for her donation that came in through PayPal. Thank you, Ms. Barbara.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, this one's here, not as white. It's lighter. It's not quite white on this one. It's not. It's there, but it's more of a yellow. And I've got one up here a little bit with that color.
Let's give a big thank you to Gail for her donation that came in as well.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And you know, one of the things I know, things are so tight for everybody. They're tight for John and I, you know, and they're tight for you, and we appreciate all of that. And you know, I just try to think back to not getting political, because you know you'll never see that on the show. But I can honestly say that there was a time when I would never dream of asking anybody what they spent on groceries this week. Wouldn't ask anybody else, thinking maybe I'm just crazy. What are you buying a grocery? We just bought groceries. I just bought groceries. And now suddenly you're thinking, you know, every time you turn around, you're going, wow, when did that happen? You know? So, anyway, so much for me theorizing about those things, but it does seem like things have changed a little bit the last couple of years since COVID, you know. So I'm going to deepen a couple of the colors in here, just in the center. Don't overwork these flowers. This is very impressionistic, and it will work if you don't go crazy on me. Just put it and just.
Thank you, Sally, for your donation as well. And I got one left.
Ooh, really?
I'm catching up.
So, it's so funny. My grandkids and Cinnamon are here till they move to Ireland. And so it's been fun in the house. Cinnamon and I will sit around and we'll watch other people's YouTube videos just on the fast tips. And I got a new one for you that I watched from somebody else, but I felt like I had to share it because I've been telling you wrong. And this is a retraction. If you have a Posca pen, one of the Posca pens, yes? You shake them, but then we used to go doop, 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 doop. Don't pump it.
Don't do doop, doop,
You're
doop,
supposed
doop.
to just hold it tight for like a minute till the stuff comes out.
That's called paint.
Yeah, paint. It's acrylic paint. But I was, because the reason, other people's pens you have to do that with, like for instance, the Uni oil painting Stafford pens, that's actually oil paint. which I used to use. I don't use them anymore because they dry up so quickly for me that I get like it's a whole bunch of paint in the pen and I can't get it out after 2 tries. So uses. So no matter how many plastic bags and tape I wrapped around the edge of it. So, but those ones you had to just do the pumping, and that's what they told you to do. But apparently with the unis you don't do that. So learn something new every day, and happy to pass it on to you.
So do we have to go back to each?
All right, we're going to go back to
No.
to this, and let's see. I think I need a little bit of phthalo green and yellow, and maybe all of it. Let's mix all the greens together. So I want a green around here like this. These are the leaves now. And this is beautiful for these kind of leaves too, because you've got this angle brush is perfect for that. Because you can make great leaves with it. And I want to come over here and just put a few leaves going up here like that. And let's see, we want some green.
And Cheryl, thank you for your donation through PayPal.
And you can use the green to kind of resculpt your flowers if you need to, too. Yes? And just to get very light with your hands. Just put a brush stroke and move, put a brush stroke and move. Play with the lights and darks on this. Here's our,
Will this painting be in the auction?
Would you like it to be? I will put it in there. Absolutely. Let's put it in. Would you guys like it? We'll put it in. Absolutely.
Wow. So yes, it'll be in.
And then those were real light, those leaves right here. Right by this flower right here, they were really light. And then we had some, just, oops. It's a nice big hunk of paint. Now I want to do some dark green here. And then we had this was kind of light here.
We are on a 9x12 canvas this evening.
Yeah, we're on a 9x12 canvas. The
next auction will be starting probably this week.
We'll send out a Gazette, a special Gazette.
Yeah, Gazette will have the info.
If you haven't subscribed to our Gazette, please do.
We'll announce it in the clubhouse. We'll announce it on Facebook as well.
I need to.
Hey, we'd like to thank April for the donation that came in through Super Chat. Looking lovely as always. Thank you, April.
Thank you, April. I appreciate it. Just okay, and then let's see. We just.
What size angle brush are you using now?
This is a
That's a triangle, isn't it?
the triangle.
It's called a triangle, 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
A little tiny one, triangle. And I want to thank Judy for these brushes that came in.
The Monza.
The little
Monza
Monzas,
quarters.
they're quarter. I'm not using
And
them
an
in this
eighth.
painting, but I could just show you. They're very nice too. For just here, let me just do a leaf for you. See? Yeah. And something a little bit brighter.
Yeah, let's just throw you more brushes.
Just so you can take a few. You can play a little bit with them. Don't get too bright with the green. Kind of play with it. If you do some like phthalo green and white, just do a couple of those. Don't do a lot of that color, and then it becomes like a color surprise if you do that. When you're doing leaves, if you can load 2 or 3 colors on your brush, that's kind of cool too. And you can do it like that. So there's our basket here like that. We'll just put that on. So then we've got some dark blue right in here like that to sort of separate this.
This Monza is also by the Silver Brush Company.
Yeah, there's you know, here's the thing. I got to thinking about it. It's like do you ever stop someone and say, "Oh, I love your shoes," or they'll say, "Oh, I only wear this pair of shoes because my feet have blah de blah," right? Well, I think we get a little bit like that with our brushes too. I think it's an easy thing to you know. I think we all get kind of a rut with our paintbrushes, and so I'm always willing to try something new because
you never know.
Because you don't know. And what if it was a brush you just couldn't live without and you didn't know about it, and so you had to live without it?
Oh, that could be a t-shirt too.
Well, go ahead, makes fun. But all right, I think that's our painting. And I could just, I've got a big long section in here that I meant to break up and didn't. See this big section right here?
I see that.
So what you want to do is just come back with, let's see, a little bit of zinc white, something a little bit lighter color in here, add a little mystery.
Cassandra just ordered her wolf lesson. Max, you're going to enjoy that lesson.
Yeah.
And thank you for the purchase.
Yeah. And incidentally, the truck that we did last week, you know, that we released this week, the truck in the snow, every time we release a lesson, the downloadable on that is
it's at a discounted price for a week. You can get 30% off. We'll try to do that throughout the year for 2023.
Yeah, we thought we would do that for 2023. And let's see, it's a little bit gray on it. A little bit of gray, something here on the table like this. And so I hope you guys had fun with this painting tonight. We appreciate the fact that you're hanging in there with us and doing all this crazy stuff. It's always fun to come and say, what can we do this week to just, you know, what can we do that's going to be so different? And I think we caught it. What do you guys think? I want something darker right here. I'm sitting here looking at this in my monitor going, sometimes you got to just put the dark back in a couple places for drama. Yes and yes?
You need the drama.
Yeah, there we go. So you just make sure that you have that. And this is the combination of phthalo blue and ultramarine blue, and I might just kind of make these a little skinnier. They don't need to be real fat, these little. There we go. Kind of an open window, and that's use up the rest of this. So enjoy the flowers, enjoy the window, enjoy painting this. I see a couple more things I have to do, and you're going, really? Yeah,
Always.
because all my flowers are the same color. So if I were to get out, see how they're all the same? So some need to be darker than others, just a couple, right? So we gotta do that. And this is why my videos always take too long, because when it dries, I see, oh gosh. So this
What have I
is
done now?
cadmium red, okay? And I want some glazing medium. That's the stuff. You know, what have we been working on this bottle for 5 years now? Is that the story?
Yeah.
I always tell you, if you're going to buy this kind of stuff, get it in the little bottle, because you use like a tablespoon. It goes a long way. Okay. So, and if our friend Andrew, if Haiti is watching, we wish you the best. I hope you have internet to watch us, but if you're watching us, well,
Some challenges going on over there.
there's a lot of challenges going on there. Just get all the color off this brush, like that, and wipe it off. And now I want a tiny bit of cad red into my glazing medium. All right, and I'm going to say that this, okay. Okay, see how we just added just a little bit more color?
And a little more depth to it.
Not much, but just a little bit. So, you know, this is something you can do when you're, some of these are going to stay kind of the pale pink, and a couple of these are going to be a bit brighter. Kind of sneak it in there, right? So yeah, so we just had to, I guess the word is pop a little bit of the color. And here's some magenta and glazing medium. Do it on that side. So if I wanted something a little pinker, I could have it, you know, so you've got a choice. And then I'm looking about, now what can I take away and not ruin the effect? Well, like for instance, the area between here and here is good. This is good. That's good. Perhaps I want to take and maybe break this up a bit here, like that. So it's not too busy, all right? So sometimes you got to go back and just declutter some of the leaves, right? Don't be afraid to go back and do a little editing. A little blue and white. Make that thicker. All right. Well, that's what I got for you. And that's why we did it, to go back and add a little bit more color to the flowers after they dry. And let's make this one, let's just trim this one out a little bit right there. There you go. So fun, you guys. Kind of roses, and we'll definitely put this in the auction if you guys think that would be something you might like. Happy to do it. And we will see you next week. I'm very curious about, if you're leaving any comments about this lesson, if you like the looser style. And also I'm very curious to know about, you know, how you felt about just the subject of that, those two nuns with the flowers. Just very curious. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we'll see you next week for Picasso. Be sure to hop over to our auction site. You got to register. gingercookauction.com in order to play.
gingercookauction.com.
Yeah.
How many cookies is this one?
Oh,
I think it's
one.
only 2.
1 or 2. Come on, you guys, it's pretty simple, don't you think? Didn't you think it was pretty simple?
Yeah, I think it's a 2.
Do you think John thinks it's a 2? But, and it could be. I'm not saying it's not a 2, but, you know, if we keep talking about it, I'll, gonna make that
You'll
one
debate it
smaller.
forever.
We'll play on it, but you know what did we do this in? It's like 7
An
hour, and then plus time just showing you other stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to know where the teachers can be found, there's a little button right there on the YouTube
YouTube
channel.
shop.
It's called the store.
Store? Is it store or
It's
shop?
a store. It's called the store.
Okay.
Right there on the on YouTube, there's a store. It's right under the video, and it'll take you right to some of the stuff. And then if you click on that, it'll take you to the full Shopify store with all our stuff. And every week we're trying to put up new stuff. You'll be surprised. Maybe there's a gift you want to give somebody or something kind of fun, and
A gift for yourself.
a gift for yourself. Yeah, maybe so. What do you think, John? Think a gift for yourself? I see one thing I got to do here.
You said one thing already, though.
Yeah, but no, I lied.
You really have trouble counting, don't you?
This had to be light right there. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Yeah, okay. Where's the pen? If I sign it, then we'd have to.
What? You signed what?
But I think we got very close to this. Don't you guys think so?
I think you did great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I might make that one smaller. This little flower right here. Okay. You can see how easy that is. Just think of triangles on the outside and circles on the inside when you're doing flowers. That's what you want to remember. I want to thank our mods. I will be happily signing this. And so you can shake them, but when you go to, this isn't even a Posca one, this is an Artisto, but you're supposed to just do that. So here we go. Oh, and when you're signing your name, make sure you do it a finger's width above the of the side so that you don't lose your signature in the
frame.
And I'll put the red slash through later. All right. Night, you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks, mods, for hanging out. Thanks, everybody who's been helping us out. And be sure to catch Cinnamon's watercolor show on Mondays on YouTube.
On Monday? Did you had it today?
Oh, then it's Tuesdays. Today's Monday. She's tomorrow. That's it. It's coming back to me now. Yes. Oh, we can't have any more of these birthdays, you know.
All right, everybody.
Tomorrow. Catch you then. See you later. Bye.
Thanks for playing along. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.